My name is Gray Lane. I'm Director of Marketing Operations at ECI Group in Atlanta, Georgia. We came to EliseAI to solve a problem we were having with our call center, and we also weren't doing any automation at the time. So we knew that we had a pretty big paradigm shift ahead of us in terms of how we were going to operate, especially on the leasing side of things. We vetted quite a few providers in the space, but ultimately landed on EliseAI after some very, very thorough due diligence and talking to a lot of folks in the space that had already piloted with EliseAI. Between all the resources provided during the sales process and the fact that we heard constant good feedback from all of our peers, it became really a cut and dry decision for why EliseAI was probably the best AI solution in the industry. And when it comes to pain points, we were obviously one of the companies that was adopting a new staffing model with moving the ACM offsite, that was our centralization play. So with reducing headcount on site, we knew that we needed to supplement them with, supplement our site teams with additional bandwidth. Maybe not with human capital, but by leveraging the AI solution. So we realized we were missing a ton of phone calls, and the lead management was becoming, maybe neglected just due to overall overload and bandwidth and burnout and that kind of thing. So being able to partner with someone like EliseAI to provide us with Henry, our new virtual leasing agent, or our virtual leasing agent assistant, really made a tremendous difference on our day-to-day for our site teams, and ultimately improved our leasing process and our leasing ratios. So my mentality the whole time throughout this rollout was that we really needed to automate the top of the funnel. Top of the funnel, I feel like, why it's very important. It's where people enter the funnel. It can get a little bit extraneous and overly repetitive, and you can only answer qualifying criteria and what pet breeds you're allowed at your property so many times before it gets repetitive. So by automating the top of the funnel with Henry, we figured it allowed our site teams to focus on the more impactful day-to-day tasks, likely with the customer actually in front of them versus trying all the pre-qual questions and all those workflows. So we figured that it really just made our leasing teams more efficient, but allowing them to focus on the high impact tasks versus the very abundant low impact tasks. So when it comes to the point solutions, we were quickly realized that EliseAI was really way more than just a quote unquote CRM or a virtual leasing agent. We realized that EliseAI was building their own tech stack, top to bottom. So there were some there were some areas that we identified that might be a good idea for consolidation and maybe eliminate some of our other portions of our tech stack that had become a little bit disjointed. When it came to our staffing model, I think I mentioned that we had just made the centralization play, and while we knew the risks of that, we maybe weren't cognizant for just how much that would affect our site teams in moving the ACM role off the site. So while they were quickly raising their hand saying, hey, this is too much workload for just a PM and a leasing consultant, we really needed another body. We were able to quickly add in EliseAI as a supplement, as a virtual co-employee that really helped improve our leasing processes and gave our teams, some time back to focus on the high impact tasks. When your phone isn't being picked up, that you're lighting your marketing dollars on fire. We're paying all this money to get the people into the door, to fill up that funnel, and missing phone calls was absolutely driving me nuts. And I'm pleased to say that, we weren't even doing as poorly as some of the benchmarks that have been mentioned today. We were missing about 40% of all of our phone calls. And I'm here to say that, we just did a quarterly review, and I was able to go back to asset management and say that there were 1,200 leads year to date that we have received through after hours and overflow phone calls that would have otherwise gone to voicemail and may or may not have actually materialized into an actual lead.